Hello once again, everybody. All right, little update on my 160 meter sky loop antenna. I'm ready to finalize things up here. Right now, up here, there's a lot of things, stuff is temporary. As you can see, there's some rope wrapped around there, and these are all temporary. And when I first put this stuff together, I didn't want to make everything all sealed up and anchored in perfectly because in case I had to make changes, and of course I did. So I ended up taking off about 19 feet off this antenna. From my location up here, all the variables factored in at 550 feet. This antenna was more resonant on 1.700. And as you know, that's out of band. So I cut roughly 19 feet off, and that slid up towards 1.800. And since then, I've been getting great performance on 160, 80, 40, and I wanted to do one more test on 10 meters. So that's what you're gonna see in a minute here. I was just on the air with Dwayne, W3DEP, and he is down that way. I believe that's south. Yeah, down there. Hi, Dwayne. How you doing? About 30 miles away. So, all right, one final test before I, make this all look real nice and pretty. I'll seal it all up. But, all right, tell you what, we'll walk the yard and show you anybody who's never tuned into my station or my channel here before. I'll walk the yard, show how it's how it goes to the property up through the trees. And by the way, this is my little experiment I was running here. This is my one-to-one balun. I was just jerking around. This is a 40-meter loop, sort of like a 40-meter sandwich going out there. This is an experiment, so just paying no attention to that. All right, let's hop down in the yard, and then we'll get into the video of a 10-meter test. All right, here we are down in the yard. There's the balun up there. But the sun's coming right in my viewfinder here. I'm gonna blind you guys right into the sun. I don't know if you can see that or not. Down here, let me flip this around here. All right, let's take a walk down. How am I gonna pull the wide angle here? That'll be zoomed all the way out. Okay, here we go. I walk down the yard. And tell you what, this black wire, when it's up on the tree, I mean, you cannot see it. Down here. And I cannot see it off this tree. Through here, I know I already did a video on this, but anybody new here, I'll show you this. And it is so camouflaged. Just to get an idea. You know, all the way from up here. All the way down here, wraps around here. It's going to continue on. Walking with KP. Down through here. Like I mentioned, man, this was really hard doing by myself. It does dip down really low here. I don't know, it's maybe like, 15 feet. But I wasn't about to re-spool everything. It was a pain in the butt. But okay, we're going to shoot up towards the house there. New shed. Getting stuff cleaned up down here. I was monkeying around with something. That's what my dad used to say. Ken, what are you monkeying around with now? I was goofing. Oh, up here. Okay, I'm gonna stay in the shade here because it's a little pulley. Zoom back out. I continue on. And like I said, I can't believe how quiet the antenna is because there's a power lines. I mean, they're low power lines right here. That's your, secondary. It's only about 240 coming in, but there's high power primary lines up there. And I can't believe it. I have no noise whatsoever. Wraps around these trees in the front. And then back to the balun. That's about it. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. 4-1 balun and a bunch of wire in the trees. All right, guys. All right, now let's hop on 10 meters, and I'll catch you guys later. KP68, free and clear. The 160 meter sky loop antenna on 10 meters here. It's been working great on 160, 80, 40, Stuff like your, let's go all the way up to the top end here and try this out on 10 meters here. Right now I'm doing my usual about 700 watts and everything looks good. Yeah, can't complain. So yeah, this is a neat little test here.
Yeah, I'm on my other antenna, which is a doublet, and I'm doing about 53 watts.
Wait a minute, you're doing 53 watts? Wow, you're coming in really good. Hold on, come on back. Let me look at the S meter.
Yeah, I don't even have the amplifier on yet, but yeah, I'm doing 53 watts. What's weird is it seems like all I got to do is turn it over to the antenna tuner and it dials in really, really quick. Right now running 1.05 SWR with ease.
Okay, I hear every word you say, crystal clear. The band is like completely dead. I mean, there's no propagation in there, but yeah, your 7S units, crystal clear, and that's crazy. I'll be interested to hear how that sounds on, if you turn on the amplifier on, if you so want to endeavor there.
Well, I just turned it on, but it's warming up right now, so give it a few, and we'll give it a go. But yeah, this here was pretty easy to tune. Matter of fact, let me log that in for tuning.
Okay, yeah, likewise, when we get done here, I'll mark down all my settings here on my Meritron and my Palstar. But yeah, this is a nice surprise. Like my 80-meter loop worked okay on 10 here, but the 160 was working a little bit better because it's a little bit more broad-banded on the tune with my 160-meter loop. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with this 160-meter Skyloop antenna.
All right, before I turn the amp on, let me go over and tune it on the loop so you see what signal I'm doing. Let me tune the loop up and see what it does. All right, I'm on the loop antenna tuned up right there.
Okay, yeah, about the same S units, but it seems like it's a little bit louder. I'll know when I watch this. I'm recording right now, so I'll let you know that. But yeah, very, very loud modulation. Sounds great.
Okay, yeah, I'm logging in my numbers for the antenna tuner here.
Okay, that's stronger. You're tapping 8S units, FYI.
All right, now let me engage the amplifier, see what happens. All right, there's the amplifier right there. See what that does right there. Doing just a little over a kW.
Okay, nice. Yeah, 5/9. And like I said, that's hard to do on these upper frequencies here. Line of sight, but it's booming in here. What do you hear it? It's just you're incredibly loud, great signal, and yeah, this is really, really cool.
All right, and I'm going to try the doublet. So let me switch over and change my settings. Let me try the doublet here.
Okay, go ahead and do that. And like I said, I'm recording the screen. You'll be able to see the results firsthand, standing by.
All right, and there's the doublet doing kW right there. Well, I just peaked 1100 watts right there. So this is the doublet up at 65 feet.
Okay, that was 9S. Absolutely, definitely the loop, hands down. Yeah, you'll see it and you'll hear it, but yeah, the other antennas are much, much better.
All right, let me switch back over. And right there is the loop antenna up at 50 feet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it crushes the other antenna. That was a neat experiment, but you'll be very, very pleased. And by the way, you get the Ozzy Osbourne skin, my tribute skin here, the Dire of a Madman skin. So you and Ozzy on my screen right now. You're right next to him.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. Yeah, I forgot about that, the passing of him. So that's pretty neat. You would have it in there. W3DEP. Yeah, I knew the loop would work very well here. with no issues whatsoever.
Okay, all right, yep. This is another treat, and wow, for the simplicity of this antenna, you get a lot. I know it's not optimized, you know what I mean? It's kind of low in certain spots. I'm kind of at the mercy of my property, how the layout is, and the trees and everything. But as far as the antenna goes, it's probably the simplest antenna you could ask for. Just a piece of wire strung up in the trees. So actually, it's a good option for anybody just getting into the hobby. It doesn't got to be perfect. Just get that antenna wire up in the trees and you know, get the 4-to-1 balun to make it you know, multi-banded and decent tuner and off to the races. But I'm very, very pleased with this antenna. I mean, I'm looking at all my equipment right now. My Meritron ALEDB, everything looks really, really nice. My reflect meter's not even twitching. And looking down my Powstar AT5K, and that looks also really good. The reflect needle's not even moving, but very, very pleased with this antenna.
I'm curious on your antenna tuner, what's your settings, your inductor and the capacitance and stuff, what's your numbers? My inductor on this one here, of course, I only have 2 knobs. It's a differential antenna tuner, but my inductor's on 288.
Okay, wait, hang on for a second. Let me take my headphones off. Let me scooch over my tuner, and it's it's on the floor over there. Still, I'm waiting for my Anon. I always said when my Anon G2 1K comes in, that's when it's going to make its way up on the desk here. So, all right, give me 1 second here. I'll look at the numbers. I got to write them down anyhow. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's see here. The input is 53. And the output's 50, and my roller inductor is 260 on the inductor.
Oh, we're not too far off. Of course, I just have the 1 knob capacitance. It's at 74, and my inductor's on 288.
Okay, speaking of this tuner, I was listening to, you know me, I like to listen to shortwave stations. I was tuned into WRMI down there in Florida. And just listening, had on the background, and they talk about R&L Electronics, and they have the Powstar AT5K in stock and ready for sale. In fact, I know a guy, the fellow Ty out in Ohio, I believe he just bought one, so it is available again. I remember you said that you couldn't find any for sale, but they were at the time a couple weeks ago on R&L Electronics.
Yeah, on Facebook, there's a guy that's selling one. I think it's an older one. He wants, I think, $875 for it, which is not a bad deal at all. But I don't think it's that far away from here. I want to say maybe, I'd have to double check. I think maybe an hour's drive, if that. Okay.
All right. Right now, I'm on their site right now. Oh, God, I can't talk. R&L Electronics. And like I said, I was tuned into WRMI. And, you know, they promote ham radio stuff. But I'm looking on their site right now. But HF menial tuners, clicking on there. And, yeah, they have all kinds of Powstars. AT4K, there it is. Yes, it's in stock, the Powstar AT5K. Yeah, 3,500 watts peak PEP antenna tuner. And it's for $1,400. Expensive, but, hey, they're in stock.
Yeah, no, it's amazing how expensive they are for not having no really working parts other than manual tuning, no automatic parts. And there's not much in them. It always makes me wonder why they're charging so much for not much inside.
Right. It's almost like an empty box, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I will say all the the capacitors of the air capacitors in there, they're going to be real tight tolerances, but I don't know. Probably because they can. But yeah, I can't remember how much I paid for mine. I don't think it was that much. In fact, I did a video on it when I got it. I have to go back and watch it. In fact, I might even have a receipt somewhere in here. But yeah, they are very expensive, but well worth it. I love mine. Yeah, if I was to do an upgrade on my station, that's probably what I would get, just having a bigger antenna tuner, just to have it, that, of course, it comfortably will do more wattage. Right, yeah, that's what I did. Even right now, I only have my Meritron ALEDB. So, yeah, I wanted to future-proof myself because, I'll be getting something, legal limit. So, yeah, might as well get max out with the tuner. So that's what I did. So I'll be good to go. But at any rate, all right, before I let you go, so you got that garage door guy coming this afternoon. Take a look at that, right?
Yeah, that's what he said. He was going to give me a call before he comes. So hopefully he can squeeze me in today. And at least I'll get an estimate. Then if the estimate's where I think it should be, and I'll tell him go ahead and let's get me on the schedule.
All right, Dwayne. All right, man, I'll let you go. Thanks for getting on here with me and testing out my 160-meter Skyloop antenna on 10 meters here. Pretty cool. But I'll let you go. And then, I don't know, I told my wife to hang out with her this evening. I don't know if I'll pop in at 3.999 or not. But anyhow, if I don't, I'll talk to you later. Dwayne, W3DEP. All right, go ahead and sign off, and I'll end this recording.
All right, Ken, always a pleasure. And yeah, I'm going to go catch a little TV, and hopefully he calls me here shortly so I can get this garage door stuff out of the way. So take care.